So while you and I might have been on holiday over the winter break, the team have been busy building the new car. So I've come to the factory to see what the different departments have been working on.
A typical day for me at work is designing components for brake cooling, uprights and wheels. I also spend a lot of time signing off drawings from people in my team. Also making tests are running on schedule and we have no problems.
We're preparing everything we've designed over the winter for actually going out to be track tested. So trying to ensure everything's strong enough, stiff enough and works as we intend it to.
The winter period is so busy for me because we have so many parts to design in such a short time scale. So we typically draw around 300 or 400 parts and that requires around 700 or 800 pieces of tooling which all need to be drawn to make those components. The last few months have mainly been taken up with finishing off the brake cooling design, and those components we tend to leave as long as we can so aerodynamics have a good amount of time to increase the performance on the car. It doesn't typically quieten down for me as we're generally trying to put performance on the car all throughout the season.
The winter break is particularly busy for us because we have to define things around long lead items like the gearbox or the rear suspension, and we have tight deadlines to meet and not a lot of room to play with, and also not a lot of room if there's something that's not right. So we need to make sure that we're on it right away, and that way we can meet the deadlines, the guys can make the bits and it can all go to race one as planned. Over the last month we've been working mainly on the race one package. In my group we've been focusing on the diffuser, rear suspension, rear beam deflectors, and in the next couple of weeks we'll define those, and then hopefully that's what will end up on the grid in Melbourne.
A typical day in my role involves cutting the carbon fibre, inputting the kits and looking after and maintaining all the carbon fibre and keeping traceability.
I come in at 6 in the morning or at 2 in the afternoon. I will go into the trim room, trim my parts, fit them together, prepare them and then bond them together.
The winter period is so busy for me. We've got a lot of components to make from scratch. We need to nest them, we need to cut them and get them out the door for the guys to make.
Over the last month or so I've been working on the crash noses which will go for the crash test and be crushed to make sure that they pass the FIA test. It sometimes quietens down for us, whether that's during the race weekend or just after race weekend, but most of the year we are constantly reworking, making new parts and making sure that we're keeping up to date with our competitors.
The winter period is particularly busy for us because of all the components for the new car. Everything starts coming in around September time, and obviously that goes all the way through till first test and then on to the first Grand Prix in March.
The DO release all their designs around this time. We get together and work our plan when we can deliver all them parts. The plan doesn't change, so we've got to produce manufacturing processes for these major parts and make sure they flow through the shop, meet milestones and achieve that delivery date at the end.
For the last month I've been working on axles, uprights, gearbox cartridges, wheel nuts, pretty much everything that goes on the car really. There's all sorts of bits and pieces that come through here. You never see the same bit 2 days running, or very rarely anyway. We don't get many quiet days, maybe a couple of weeks before shutdown, but generally we're always looking for updates on the car, so we're always machining new components or updating components. So that keeps us busy all year round.